What's going on, guys? It's me, Shukashu. We are back with another Musume video, and in this video, we are here with the CM finals. We are in Group B because unfortunately, in round one, I wasn't able to get 3 wins. Although I was close a few times, I wasn't able to get that last win, regardless of having multiple chances to get it. But here we are in Group B. All I can really, if I really wanted something out of this, it would just to get first place, so I can get the most that I can get with, you know, where I am at right now. Obviously, Group A would be getting more if, but understandably, I wasn't fully set up for this CM. And then also, after the finals, we'll talk about it. It wouldn't be too long. It's just going to be my personal... Sorry about that. My personal thoughts on the English version that was announced a day or two ago. I'm not too sure. I know I saw it yesterday, so we're gonna be I'm gonna be briefly going over what I think about the English version of the game, and then I'll go over the comments. So I could have honestly gone over it yesterday, but I didn't think I was gonna go over it too heavily, simply because it's just gonna be my personal thoughts. Although I don't know what plans they have for it, but we'll talk about it when we get to after the race. So yeah, pretty much the same Umas. I decided to just leave my UE8 Duramente, I believe, because I didn't even bother putting different characters in it. So kind of just leaving it the way it is, because honestly, the UE8 Dura did pretty darn good. So I'm just gonna let it be. I'm just gonna let it be. I wonder though, do they have the English website? I don't think they would have it, but let me see. If I remove .jp and just put it to .com, yeah, it's pretty much what it is. Yeah, the website is just pretty much just there, but follow us for the latest news. Oh. All right. I don't... Yeah, there isn't much information, unless they're planning to release more information about it in a future convention, which is in pretty much next week, because they are going to be there. Or they're just going to wait till like the half Annie in JP and maybe announce it there, who knows, but it's there. No date or nothing, just it's just there. Are we at the end? Yep, we are heading towards the end of the race. We are in the finals, so getting first place would be the most ideal, with it being Group B. That way we can get the most. Seeing some characters that you don't normally see. I definitely have rarely seen Mayano Top Gun. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Mayano Top Gun even be using the CM. Tachyon here, getting her unique out of the way. It's pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. Second, third place. Grass Wonder, understandably, those should be in the back. But then now we have a fight for first place, I think, because Duramente just is gone. Along with... Oh, there she is. She is officially oh, is that Zeno Rob Roy who's trying to sneak in and take the win from us? All right, we got first place. We got first place, which honestly, that's the most that I wanted. Obviously, because it's the highest placement we can get with what we have. If I was in Group A, I most likely would have probably got third place. If I was gonna go into Group A with what I had right here. So yeah. So we ended up getting first place. Again, because if I remember correctly, oh no, it's this again. Well, that was weird, guys. Screen just went all black after I skipped the song at the end, performance at the end. So I just skipped out of it, and here we are, here to get my rewards. At least I didn't. All right. Well, first place, like I said, that was kind of weird how it just did that. But it's all right. How much did we get again for first place? I never really remember. 1,800. So a whole 10 pull and free 300. That's actually pretty darn good. I'm not gonna lie. And then a couple tickets. Am I gonna use those? I think I'll use it for the scenario, if anything. But yeah, we managed to get first place, so that is the best thing that can happen. So I'm glad, because now we have 19,000. Low key, I would probably just use these 4 tickets for Jungle Pocket, but I'm not. So that is gonna be pretty much it for the CM. So now it is time to, you know, put my thoughts in what I think about the English version of the game. That's nothing bad, obviously. Obviously, I've wanted them to release an English version of this game way earlier than we don't even know when the actual release date is, but it's just, it's been nearly 3.5 years since the JP version, the original version, has been released. So in my mind, it's just too big of a gap to really, I think it's too big of a time gap to release an English version. The most I could see is 2 years. Honestly, I don't even know if I've even played a different gacha game that was like, I don't know, 3 months, not 3 months, 3 years, 3.5 years, maybe even 4, because we don't even know the release date. Or the JP version and the English version with that much of a gap. Usually if the game is popular enough, or the series is popular enough, the English version would come out pretty much second most of the time, right? Or the global version would usually come out second, but instead of that, we didn't get a global version. When was the video that I made for the, I guess was it the Korean and Taiwan version? Shoot. Yeah, the quote-unquote overseas version was the Taiwan and Korean one, which was, when did I post this video? That's what I was looking for and I didn't see it. It was on, I don't even see the date here. Oh well, point is, it's just been a long time since then. And honestly, what I think they should have done was if they wanted to test out how popular this series was, because honestly, for myself, I don't know, aside from I guess the people who play this game. But even for a series like this, normally if it gets popular enough, you would hear, you know, people talk about it and all that. And honestly, ever since I've watched the beginning of the series itself, I never really noticed that. And the hype was basically just primarily centered in Japan, obviously. But I think what they should have done is they should have tried an English dub of the anime first, I would say, at season 1 at least, because then at least you can see whether or not the series would do well, but it's just my personal thoughts, at least, because being this late into the game, it's kind of hard to want to fully commit in another account, especially if we're gonna start off obviously with the Uro finals and then go every 6 months at new scenario until literally we reach what is this one called? The UAF. Sorry, I forgot what it's called. So what was that, like 7 different training scenarios until they finally did go 4 months before a new scenario, which is most likely this week if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I just don't like the fact that the game would be so behind. And from what I heard from at least just from what I hear, it's just not even, it sounds like it's not going too well in, I guess, the Taiwanese version and I guess the Korean version. So I feel like they should have tried going global first rather than, not to, not to be mean or anything. I'm just saying that if they wanted to go with a second version of the game and possibly get a bigger audience, they should have just done it in global as the second version, like I said. That way they'll be able to, get more of a bigger audience, because I believe at least English should be I was gonna say more common language to encounter, so I guess that would be the case. And it definitely probably would have gotten a bigger audience of people rather than, the Taiwanese or Korean version would. Because if people who are fans of the series weren't willing to play the Japanese version, because honestly, it does take some time to learn a game in a different language just to get used to the flow and all that, especially when they decide to throw different new stuff at you every couple months and all that. So it's understandable. So what my thoughts on the English version is that it will most likely interest the players who didn't bother playing the Japanese version. Like I said, it will also, I would say, interest also the new players who may have joined recently in the Japanese version and saw that, you know what, I'll just wait for the English version. I already waited this long to start the game. I might as well start it from the beginning. Something like that. Pretty sure there's gonna be people who has that kind of thought heading towards into playing the English version. Others, I don't know, really. People who waited. And also, I guess, people who are just curious of the version itself, because I myself, if it wasn't obvious, will most likely still be posting content for the English one, regardless of how kind of off-put I am by it, because I just want low-key, it will basically feel like you're just going back in time, in a sense, because I'm just gonna go back to the Uro finals. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know if that was the reason why they decided to go 4 months for every training scenario. Don't know if that was their idea to catch up the English version to the Japanese version a little bit faster, or the other versions a little bit faster, or if that was just a decision they decided to make on the for after the 3-year anniversary. Not too sure, but obviously I'll give it a shot. It is still pretty derby, except I won't be spending as much time as I would in the Japanese version, because honestly, putting all this time into this account over the years. Obviously, I've been playing this account after I re-rolled and got the characters I wanted since the beginning of the game, and yeah, to not have this as my main account would be would be weird in a sense. So yeah, if I were to post videos, it would probably be like once, twice a week for it, and I'll just do my best, like do my best to get Uma as well trained as I can, because I'm not gonna spend money in that game, or I guess in this game in general, especially with how I feel about the English version, because I don't know how well it's gonna do. I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how popular the series actually is outside of Japan. Obviously not popular enough if they weren't able to get uh the anime series to get an English dub. Honestly, at this point I don't necessarily care if they do or not. I just wish that if they wanted to release an English version of the game, they either should have done it and released it earlier, or tested the waters with their global audience with the English dub. Which, either way, I think would be okay. It's just, like I said, it's gonna be at least 3.5 years since the release of the original game. Oh, not the, yeah, of the original version of the game. And I just don't have the full confidence that it would be... I don't know. I could be wrong. Honestly, I could be wrong. This is just my personal thoughts because of how late it is. But honestly, it could still turn out to be really well. Like, I know there were a lot of people, or a good amount of people, who have posted their own thoughts and all that already about the English version. I didn't go look over any of those videos because honestly, I didn't really care, I guess. It's just, I think it's cool that it's getting an English version. All I really hope was that it was done earlier, and that's pretty much it. Will I support it? Obviously, I will still play the game in the English version, just not as much. But I feel like since it is also a waifu game, obviously you have all these waifu characters here in the game. It can definitely easily bring in a crowd if just through that by itself. So honestly, we'll just see how it happens whenever it gets released. I'm excited. Like I said, I have mixed feelings, so I'm not really excited, nor am I like disappointed, because I already had accepted the fact that they weren't going to release one after the Taiwanese and Korean version. And I guess, you know, like I said, I'll give it a shot, but just too long. It's just been too long, and that's the only thing that I have a problem with. The release being too long. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe when they put up the pre-order in the app stores and they have like a pre-order bonus or whatever, pre-order campaign going on, we'll see how many downloads they actually get, see how many people are actually, you know, excited for the English version, because obviously they're gonna get a good amount of downloads when they first start off. It's a matter of how long the hype for Pretty Derby going into the English version will last, because people looking into playing the English version are most likely going to be new to the game, and they're going to look up the content from the past versions, probably most likely the Japanese version maybe, and try to go off the content that was out basically nearly 4 years ago by then, when that game would be out. And also for me, it's gonna be funny going back to the Ura finals and just basically doing the most basic training with whoever I end up getting in the beginning. Because I don't think I would reroll. Although the reroll process wasn't too hard in Pretty Derby, I just don't know if I want to put in the time and effort to reroll for the English account, because I have my own account already in the Japanese version. So yeah. So final thoughts. I'm okay with the release of the English version. I just wish it wasn't too late. Well, I think it's gonna be good. Honestly, it's a question I can't answer myself since it hasn't even been released, and I don't have a good feel of the audience, outside of Japan. Like, obviously, there are people who are into the series. It's just how big of a group are we talking about? So yeah. It's a matter of how long will it be able to, you know, sustain itself in, I guess, the global market. Because honestly, you can play this game free to play, but you can tell that if you really do want the best possible results, I guess faster, you would want to go for the support cards. And just like any game, there will be whales for this game, most likely in the English version. And I would say that I would say it probably depends how long the whales will keep spending for the game. So yeah, but we'll see when we get more more news about the release date, I guess, because we pretty much know everything about the game because we've been playing the game the whole time. So it is what it is. That's my thoughts. It wasn't too serious. It wasn't too, it's just my personal viewpoint of the situation or of the announcement. And that's pretty much it. Wait, the new scenario is tomorrow. I literally refreshed the comments because I was about to go over it. I did not know it was tomorrow. Is it really tomorrow? Yep, new training scenario opening gacha to be held. I guess this is the news for tomorrow's video is also going to be a banner video from what it looks like, because we are getting the new scenario tonight. Speaking about a video, I should probably get into the comments because I did record fairly later than I normally do. So it's actually an hour and a half before I usually upload a video. I still need to edit. I still need to upload it. So most likely this video is going to be posted past the normal time. So let's get into the comments real quick. I'm going to try not to have any long responses for this one, just for the reasons I just said, because I want to get this video out for you guys. So starting with the first comment, it's going to be from Nova. I'm giving you flack here, but why would you feel the need to cheat if the classes were all so easy? Because, like a normal person, there are stuff that I don't know. Fortunately, those were for classes that never necessarily, well, I mean, not gonna lie, a lot of the classes I necessarily didn't, necessarily have, I haven't necessarily used it because I didn't learn it too much. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is that obviously I said it was too easy. Literally this school, at least from my perspective, it looked like all you had to do pretty much was do all your homework and just, if you have a general understanding of all the stuff that you get prior to the test without even putting too much effort into studying, just by having that general understanding, you should just be able to pass the school with like a B easily, whether it's a low B, a mid B's, or no, high B's. A little bit more than just a general thing. But sadly, a lot of guys a lot of people still, I'm not saying it's like, like, unfortunately, even with how easy the school was, at least from my point of view, obviously, it's different for many people. So, I mean, some people will obviously have a harder time in school. Others won't take it as seriously as other people. For me, it was just like, besides the first year where I did take it more seriously, going into the second year, I was like, oh, it's going to be, let me try, to chill out a bit. And that's when I really, starting to do my homework the same day it was um given to us, doing it on the same day in school. So literally after class I do the homework. So the way my schedule went off, and this is going to be a pretty long response to this comment, but it is what it is. Mondays was all classes. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe, were even classes. And then Fridays were odd classes. It's been a while. So basically, on Monday, I'll do all of it. At least what I can at school. Usually, usually I would be able to finish most of it in school. The only ones I would normally go do it at home is if I don't want to be in the library doing that. So I'll just do that stuff at home. Then on Tuesday, being the even periods, and during the even periods, I'll do the homework that I get that day during the next class, and then the next day, vice versa. Basically making my whole life easier, giving me more time to have more fun than do my homework for basically more free time and all that whenever I get home. Exams weren't bad. I would say that. Like I said, if you just have some kind of understanding of what you learned, you'll be fine. Or of course, if you put in the effort to study, you'll be fine. For myself, my testing ways was I usually finish first, not first, in the beginning, like the first 5 to 10 people. Simply because I want to just relax and possibly put my head down after the test, or start on some homework, But obviously, like I said, regardless of classes being easy, there are still going to be subjects and topics of said classes I myself don't know about or don't understand and all that. And I can speak for my friends. I can speak for the friends I made there, because they were they were smart, they were dumb, they were a whole bunch of people. But even the smart people were asking me for help. They rarely did do that, but they've asked me a few times, so it's not like it's not like I was the only one. Even the smart people, So yeah, you're asking me like it's not like the answer wasn't obvious. Obviously, being a teenager, in high school, just being a kid in general. I mean, there's gonna be people won't talk about it, but a lot of people have at least cheated once or twice. If you guys haven't, props to you. Props to you. I'm not just gonna you can give me flack all you want. I said the classes were easy, but you got to understand that not everyone knows everything. Classes may be easy, but it doesn't mean I'm comfortable with certain things. Plus, I took Spanish for 3 years. It was just the basic of Spanish, even though it's supposed to be harder every year. You expected me to? I mean, I did still pass. It's just a lot of the people in my class also didn't know what the heck we were looking at. So it wouldn't only be me in the class. It would be nearly a lot of people in that class. One, because the teachers don't have, you know, only a few of them actually did. From what I realized, only a few of them actually did, like, really did pay attention. Only because I've seen a few people get caught because they were being a little too obvious. So, you know, I get it. You know, it's like I said, I don't condone cheating. But as a teenager, as a high school teenager, or even younger than that, you're unless, like, depending where you are in the world, I don't know, depending, I don't know how it is outside of America. I just know how it is here from my own experience. And in 7th grade, I seen my classmate cheat in a spelling test. Did he get caught? Yes, he did. Because he sat on his book thinking he wasn't gonna get, you know. So it's like, yeah, cheating's bad. But it's like, I ain't gonna tell someone, oh, you have no honor because you cheat. Honestly, I think that's way more crazier than cheating. Me saying that I cheated, even though I said the classes were easy. That's honestly more crazy and less likely to encounter someone who would say exactly word for word what I just said there. That's just from off what I remember what you said in the last comment you mentioned about that. I don't know when. I think it was the last one. And also, for the guy who challenged you in your history class, saying that, well, the challenge was him getting a better score than you cheating while you didn't cheat, honestly, is one of the most stupidest things to do. If you're gonna cheat, just might as well do the one for the full 100. But you can't, because maybe he normally didn't get, like I said, maybe he normally didn't get high grades, and it was one of those freak moments or random moments he did get it. But no, I ain't gonna be all smug or anything like that about, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cheat, but you can't. I don't see a point of that. Honestly, that's more stupid. That's more stupid than anything. Because one, you make that person made himself look stupid by losing the bet to begin with, and whoever thinks that they're that guy who thinks they're that guy because they're gonna get a higher score than someone who isn't gonna cheat, but they're gonna be the one cheating, is totally out of their minds. Totally out of their minds. So, like I said, give me all the flack you want. I ain't gonna get any flack coming from a guy who says that you have no honor if you cheat. Honestly, even though if it's a personal view, it's just crazy to me, because a lot of people, like I said, whether they mention it or not, I just decided to be transparent with you guys, to keep it real with you guys. A lot of people will have at least cheated once, twice, and it doesn't have to just be a test. It could be cheating, could be anything. Could have cheated. Is this just a school thing that bothers you, or is it in general, cheating in general? And then, you know, you can't just put it all in just exams. It has to be, it would just have to be the whole thing as a whole, I would say. So yeah, I mean, if you hate cheating as a whole, then it's kind of unfair to just go towards, I think, a lot of people in the world that cheated for even the smallest of things, cheating being one of them. To say that someone has no honor for cheating, one, sounds very outdated. Very, like, old school, like old school Asian. That's what it sounds to me. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. Give me all the flack you want. It yeah, just give me all the flack you want. The answer is pretty obvious to why I would feel the need to cheat. Obviously, it didn't matter to me whether I would needed to cheat or not, because majority of time I was the one handing out answers to my friends who would ask me. And then again, me knowing that I was cheating, if I was the one asking for answers, I knew that I was gonna get either the right or wrong answer because they probably thought they knew this thing. But you know what? If I was gonna get it wrong anyway, then sure. And sure, I'm not gonna get mad over the fact that the answer was wrong. I didn't get that answer legitimately. Nor am I gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna challenge one of these people in my class to a test. I didn't care. I didn't care. You do what you gotta do. If I care about someone cheating, I shouldn't. I shouldn't. Because if I get myself involved in their situation, then they're gonna get into my case. So yeah. It's such a normal thing that it boggles my mind to hear something like what you said in the last comment, the last video about the whole cheating thing. But regardless, fun fact, I did pull for serious and got her in 20 pulls. My luck back then was on fire. I didn't even realize that you did pull for serious. I didn't even remember. Because it was after Katsuragi Ace, and I think before the summer banner. So I didn't know. It might work out for McQueen end card, but max LB is just more worth in general. Think about L speed card with that juicy gold skill. What the thing about L speed card is it's gonna be a year old in 2 months. So I'd either just go with another card that'll probably be more useful and just wait for another speed card. Maybe. But I'm not sure. Tanoki had responded to this saying, yep, you have to remember that re-rolling for Int McQueen LB0 is specifically under the context of having no other SSR cards. When it comes to an old account with existing SSRs, pretty much always raise the LB. The thing is, I would probably just raise the LB of a card that I know I'm going to use on a more recent end. I don't think I have a lot of those cards before the 3-year anniversary. Do I? The shop is right here. Technically, I probably could just go for a Dia copy. Possibly could go for a Dia copy. I don't necessarily know what else I can get, because the older the farther we get, the older the cards are. Alconder Paz is here. That means we're already at the last year's half-year anniversary. And now we are here. And, you know, like I said, as we go higher, the older the cards would be. So if I were to choose, honestly, it probably might end up being this. If not, maybe this one, maybe, because I don't really have a power card. Other than that, I don't know what else. Nova had responded back saying, MLB is truly the endgame in UMA. Before that stage, we were all noobs. Well, having max limit break support cards has always been pretty obvious that you need to have that for, I guess, the end game since like the beginning, because we were just running around with single copy SSR card, just trying to, you know, get a better result than the last time. And then as our event cards built up, we were doing way better. As SR cards also turned into max limit broken SR cards. They were more helpful than the SR cards that were just at 0 limit break. Yeah, it's just gonna be a whole Oh, this wasn't even talking about the beginning of the game. This was just in general. uh, for Genshin, I do agree that Navia looks pretty cute, but no hills. I think Navia looks perfect the way she is, because to me, size don't exactly matter. Raiden Shogun, I think, will always be my favorite. I do like Shogun. Like I said, a majority of the characters I do like are from Inazuma, and then there will be like the handpicked ones from the other nations. The animation for her ult is just that, behold the sword from my bosom. I guess you're not wrong. That got censored in CN, I think. I want to know? I don't play Star Rail, but Kafka is a babe for sure. I agree. I agree. For Triple Z, I have to say Nicole for sure. Depends if they nerf the hills or not. For reverse, it's got to be Centurion for me. Dark Waifu was also a must get for me. For Nikki, I can't choose. If I were to choose, I'm gonna explode. But in a good way. Hey, yo? Oh, so this comment has thoughts on the English version and stuff. And it's the last one from Nova. So it says, there are so many missed opportunities for Science games during the first few years of the game for UMA to really pop off in the West. However, the decision to just branch out to China, Korea, and Taiwan kind of just backfired for the most part. Oh, okay. I thought it was just Taiwan and Korean, but I didn't know they had a CN version. Okay. I'm sure there's still revenue from the Western market, but comparatively speaking, would that be worth more than the Asian market? I've seen how my Taiwanese friend despaired over the game, and I can see why. If you guys are wondering where I've heard the whole thing about the Taiwanese version, is basically Nova from the comment section when he talks about it. And they were never good. They were never good ever since he mentioned about it. Starting from scratch and being 3 years behind really hurts, in my opinion. Didn't mention that. And it's not even just 3 years. It might be 4. Because we're already almost 3.5 years in. They could, of course, try to accelerate their schedule, but that's not going to sit with the free-to-play base. Definitely not. Just for myself, being free-to-play since the beginning, still am, by the way. Still am. It was a process in the beginning. Honestly, you're just playing the game in the beginning until I'd say you got enough SR cards to max limit break that you can use. Getting the event cards in the future. That's why I usually keep saying, if you guys want the event card, make sure you reach 400k, get the extra, finish the story, finish reading the story, and then do the roulette so you can get all the cards, especially, which is more beneficial than you think, especially if you're free to play, because I didn't start switching out my event cards until literally last year, where I started getting more support cards. Because all I really was using was the Kita card for ever. So yeah, besides that and any scenario cards that I pulled, I was primarily using event cards and Kita's card, and also the scenario card. So they could have no. There are those who argue that they just localize the language only and still keep the server the same as JP. That would be the idea, but we all know that's not how Cygames want to play this. Oh, definitely. I forgot to mention that if they were gonna add English to the game, with it being over 3 years, I feel like they should just add an English language into the game itself. Because I understand why they want to release a whole English version. They want to get a whole different kind of revenue coming from a different version of their game, which isn't a bad idea, but at the same time, it's a bad idea because of how late it is into the game, that since it's been released. Just like Nova said, they had many missed opportunities. They could have done it literally after the first year, announce it after the first year, maybe release it by the half annie of the year and a half annie. Or the latest, 2 years. After that, I would have scrapped the idea of releasing a global version. At least me, personally. But Cygames, they're different. So, yeah. I'm not disappointed, but not excited either. They missed their timing, and that's that. It's a shame, really. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's just really the timing that really throws me off when it comes to the English version of the game. Even if it did get released sometime last year, it still would have been close 2 to 3 years, and I still would have probably thought the same thing. Because like I said, 2 years is pushing it, but it's probably the latest I'd go. So yeah. But other than that, that is pretty much it from all the comments from Nova. So thank you for all the comments, Nova. And then the next few comments are going to be from Nuz. Personally, I actually never cheated, and I don't know why though. I never studied, even if I didn't understand. I just failed with pride, but always clutched on exams. Hey, props to you. Props to you. Have I failed tests? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Like I said, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, the classes were easy. Oh, the classes were easy, so why did you cheat, Nova? Well, because obviously there were some things that I don't completely know because I'm a person. I'm a complete normal human being who doesn't know everything, and that's the reason why. All right? All right, Nova. Giving me flack for an answer that was so obvious. Well, obvious because, you know, it ain't something rare to encounter, especially being a teenager. Especially these days with technology, with where technology is, where is that, especially when there was the quarantine. Yeah, that being in an online class is where I would say the real quote unquote I guess honor would be there, because you have basically free reign. I don't know how it is to have an online class. I never done it. So, but that basically you just have, I've seen it though. Like, I've walked into my little brother's online classes. He doesn't pay attention. I've heard, and how easy it is to cheat also is ridiculous. So yeah. If you're gonna say back in the day had no honor if you cheated, what about today's day where it's like 10 times way easier to cheat than before? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't condone it. It's just, it kind of just felt like the norm, you know? Even when you don't talk about it, you see it. And even if it's not just the test itself, you could be cheating your homework, copying others, you know? I, for one, most of the time got my homework copied off on, and I didn't care. I didn't care. Does it look like I'm a type of person who seems to care about things like that? I don't. As long as you don't get me involved and I get in trouble, well, as long as, it's kind of funny for me to say that, but I, end up cheating. But, I never got caught cheating. The one time that I got caught for something was plagiarism, because because I took 3 words in a row, even though I took 3 words off the actual sentence, but the rest was all mine, and I still cited it correctly and everything. They still caught me for plagiarism, and they gave me a 0 for that paper or whatever I did. This was in junior year, so they're gonna give me crap for that. But yeah. So yeah, I don't care. Give me flack all you want. Ooh, I cheated. I cheated in a supposedly easy classes. Sure. But Nova had responded saying, "It's just a me thing, but I take cheating very seriously." Well, that's a whole like different thing. I got how serious you took cheating just by your response by saying that you have no honor, and honestly, it kind of bugs me. It kind of bugs me how it's gone that far, because I've never heard a single teacher, parent, or anyone go that far, especially at the time when I was in high school, which I want to say may or may not be around the same time as Unova. So yeah. Yeah, because to say it like that, like I said, it sounded very old school. Very, very old school. For me, cheating is betrayal of why your parents sent you to school in the first place. Well, no, for me, the real betrayal is if you don't pass the school. Because okay, let's put it this way. But it's still, and let's say you still pass school, graduated school, and all that, but you still did really bad in certain subjects. But you still, but obviously your parents won't know whether or not you did cheat in school or not unless you get caught. But if cheating is a betrayal why your parents sent you to school, I'm not trying to make it sound good, you know. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to make it sound good or anything. But there are different ways to think about this whole, you know, yes, the parents sent you to school and all that. The thing I hate about the way the school teaches and all that, as someone who's seen my friends, myself, and all that, also hearing it from multiple people, even people I first met, high school or school in general don't get you necessarily ready for the world. In high school, they're teaching you history so you can learn the past. So you can learn stuff about the past. Like I said, for myself, I learned Spanish. I didn't learn Spanish. I mean, I took Spanish classes. I didn't learn Spanish. One class that I'll say I didn't benefit from. The most I can say that I got out of it is learning small words. So one class that my parents had to pay for that didn't exactly help me. So now, was it by choice? Probably because I didn't choose to move on into learning the Spanish language. Then again, nobody does. Nobody is obligated to learn it, so it just had to be a language class that had to be taken in class. Some other schools offers like French and all that. I only had Spanish, so I took that for 3 years and didn't benefit from it. World history, although you do learn about the past, doesn't benefit me right now. No. Math. I understand teaching us different, you know, levels of math up to a certain point, which I guess would be like calculus, and then past that, if you want to, if the career you choose requires a higher level of math. I have never seen myself use any of calculus, any advanced math for everyday life, nor other important things. So, although that if you were to give me those equations right now, I most likely would have forgotten and will need a refresher. There's that. So even though math there is an importance, you don't necessarily use the more complex things unless they're involved in your everyday lives. Obviously English, easy. Use that if or whatever. If you have English, obviously you're gonna be using it every day. They're just there to help you speak it correctly. But English is such a weird language. even though it's my first language, obviously, but it was just writing essays and reading books. That's how I seen it. So yeah, if if cheating is a betrayal, going to school is technically a betrayal also to the kids, because they don't completely teach them all the like they don't get them completely ready. They just teach them these subjects assuming that they'll be fine in the future. Because there are so many things that as an adult, if you had learned in school, or at least got like some kind of knowledge of it prior to school, to that, and sure. But if I'm gonna go to school, and if majority of things that I go through does not get used later on in my life, if you think about it that way, is it truly a betrayal whether or not you cheated in those classes? Is it? You still graduated school, you still move on with your life, you're still doing great, and you get your college degree and all that. If you still go through all that, is it really still a betrayal? And you're still living a good life? Not the good life, but you're still living the life that took years to build up. So no, I personally don't think that cheating is a betrayal. I think not going through with the school, not finishing the school, failing out of school would be the real betrayal. I also seen it with I also hear it from today's generation, from my little brother. When I look at their classes, I'm looking at my brother, I'm looking at the friends he made, I'm just like, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. I look at my brother now, who is almost done with college, and it's as I said. He took Spanish because he went to the same high school. He took Spanish. All those classes I mentioned, even the ones I didn't mention, because I don't know what other. Well, I forgot what those classes were called. The extra classes you get to pick yourself. Yeah, I forgot what they were called. Yeah, a lot of these same classes are still not being benefited off in the future. So, yeah, that's an extreme way of seeing things, or seeing cheating. But it could also just be either well, obviously it was a personal thing, so it could be also how you've been brought up. So I don't know. I'm just saying what I think about it. But I think, like I said, first, losing your honor if you ever cheated, and it being a complete betrayal to your parents, I think is a little too extreme. Like I said, it's whatever for me. But I would say the complete betrayal, again, would have to be if you don't pass school in general. Because then truly, the money has gone to waste. Whereas you cheat, if a person were to cheat once, twice, and they graduated perfectly fine, and if that's still considered betrayal, as mind blowing. That's mind blowing. Anyways, continuing on with Nuz's comment. That felt more of a Nova comment than a Nuz comment. But yeah. Oh yeah, damn. Forgot 18 is legal age to drink in Belgium. You can start drinking from 16. But not like I did it. Trust me. Well, for us, at least in America, technically, you'd see you'd see it more towards like high school, like senior year of high school, which would be around 17, 18 over here as well. But no, it's 21. It's 21 over here, as you should know. Hey, if you did, I ain't judging. I ain't judging. I don't know. If you did, I don't really care. I mean, I drank, so it is what it is. And then lastly from Nuz, I'm actually hyped for tomorrow because hope the new scenario will be fun. Well, which means I officially did not get a UD for the UAF scenario, which is unfortunately sad. But thank you for all the comments. Nuz, next comment's gonna be from Eugen. I said I wasn't gonna take a while, but here we are. Nothing much to say. Here's my Champions Meeting Classic recap. Round 1, Day 2, 4-3-4-2 win rate. Round 2, Day 1. Defeated at the first race of the entry, but managed to come back with 4 straight wins that made me advance to Final A. Ended up with 4-4-2-3 win rate. Round 2, Day 2. This time, I set my attempt on 2 hours after their day reset and critical time for those who have not made it through the Finals A. So I can say these entries is like foreshadowing somehow on what will happen to me in the finals. The result is 3-2-1-2 win. I can say this is the real result that I can't help but suck my thumb. Then here comes the final round in Group A. There seems to be trouble on the start for Twin Turbo and Mayano Top Gun, but still manages to secure the 1-2-3 and the position of the race since there are no other escapees. You know what's funny? Seeing after reading that you got a 1-2-3 finish, and then remembering how you basically didn't feel confident at all heading towards Coliseum is crazy. On the final leg at the last spurt, it seems someone is coming from behind. It's a nerve-wracking feeling for me until Chocobon managed to activate a skill. More suspense in my heart until to the finish line and Chocobon grabs the win. Her 3rd CM win. I have uploaded the race video. If you want to see it, will do. To be honest, I'm still shaking and I'm glad with the lucky matchup. Even there are other UDs with Jungle Pocket along the gate entry. Well, congrats on getting your win. It seems like you had a pretty easy time, it seems like, because easily won day 1. Seems like you were fine round 2. Okay, round 1 you seem fine, round 2 you seem fine as well. So I don't know, you seem perfectly fine for a person who wasn't confident into the going into the CM with, you know, better than me at least. But other than that, thank you for the comment, Eugen. And lastly, the next 2 comments are going to be from Tanoki. Yeah, it looks like I was going to win, then like 6 Uma's debuff hit me at the same time. So basically both of the opponents, main Uma showed past my crippled horses. That is very sad. Going against those 2... Wait. 6? You got 2 opponents. Dang, so you're telling me 4 Umas gave you... Oh wait, you said that their main Umas also has some kind of debuff? Dang, that is very... That's scary, low-key scary to see. But I could see why it would be amusing. But finished 3rd in Group A finals, but hey, had a blast. I forgot, Nova had responded to the first comment saying, Red Kami skills kicked in. And then Nova had responded to the next one saying, I feel that the League of Heroes is going to be more fun this time around. See ya, CM. I won't miss ya. I don't know. I still prefer to see him. Not gonna lie. But other than that, finally done with the comments. So, with that being said, guys, this video is most likely going to get posted after the usual time at 10 a.m. and whatever time that is, 10 a.m. PST, whatever time that is for you guys, not in Pacific Standard Time. So I'm gonna start getting this video edited. Didn't expect it to be this long, but it is what it is. But if you guys didn't make it this far in this video, I do want to say thank you. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and let me know your official thoughts on the English version of the game. Also, let me know if you guys are excited for the new training scenario coming out tomorrow. Apparently, I didn't know it was tomorrow. I thought it was gonna be later into the week, but no, it's tomorrow. And also how you guys did in the CM finals itself. Other than that, guys, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you once again, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.